Thank you for joining us again. Today we're talking about the misuse of prescription pills and over-the-counter medications among our youth. It's very popular right now because most of this stuff is coming from within your home. Prescription pills. We have people taking stuff that's not prescribed for them, that's very, very dangerous, or taking excessive amounts of the prescription pills and the cough and cold medicines. There's a note on how much you're supposed to take, but a lot of people are abusing it and getting pretty sick from it. And we'll talk more about that in signs and symptoms. There are definitely different types of prescription drugs that are out there. We hear a lot about opiates or painkillers. Those are going to be your Percocet, your Percodan, your Oxycontin, to name some of the brands. And then we hear about some of the stimulants, Adderall and Ritalin, better known as your ADHD medication. You also have anti-anxiety medication like Xanax and Valium that are out there. They're all widely abused. What's scary is a lot of it gets mixed. Sometimes you'll hear about farm parties, PH, pharmaceutical parties, where they're mixing these substances, and a lot of times it gets washed down with alcohol, and that's very dangerous because you don't need a high toxicity level to get sick. Some of the study meds that are out there, I want to kind of emphasize, you'll hear maybe references like college crack. That's the Adderall and the Ritalin, and a lot of people are taking this during exam time or to focus at school. And some people just do it for extra energy. Another one I want to make note of is the prescription painkillers, the opioids. Heroin is also an opioid. And I want to make that connection because a lot of people progress from the painkillers into heroin as the effects of them are interchangeable. What's sad though is heroin's on the rise because heroin is much cheaper than prescription pills. So all of them very dangerous to our breathing as it can slow it down and be damaging. And we'll talk more about that. So now we're going to talk about the prevalence of prescription drug use and over-the-counter drug use among our Tempe youth. The Arizona Youth Survey looks at 8th, 10th, and 12th graders every 2 years. So now I'm going to share some numbers that are in total. In 2012, nearly 50% of our Tempe youth reported that they had misused some kind of prescription drug in their lifetime. The survey also found that almost 22% of our Tempe youth had misused some kind of prescription drug in the last 30 days. The survey also noted that almost 12% of our Tempe youth had misused over-the-counter drugs in their lifetime. And almost 6% of those same students had reported misuse of over-the-counter drugs in the last 30 days. What are the signs and effects of prescription drug use and over-the-counter use? Well, first, check your medicine cabinet. If you're missing pills, there's a sign right there. A lot of the stuff is found in the home. Now, if someone's going to start using it, there's so many different medications out there. You're going to get a variety of effects. Someone could be using a stimulant, and that's going to speed up their heart rate, their temperatures. They might be agitated. They might not sleep. Their sleep patterns will be off. But then if they get into painkillers, those are downers. Those are depressants. That's going to slow their breathing. Some of the big telltale signs that we say are slow, shallow breathing. Everything's shut down. Cold, clammy skin. They're very relaxed. They're very out of it. And what you're seeing there are two extremes, uppers and downers. And with the anti-anxiety medication, it's very similar to depressants in terms of the effects. The dizziness, being tired, drowsy. So again, those are a lot of symptoms, but you need to take note of change in behavior. And I realize when there's a teenager in the home, there's a lot of hormonal reactions and behaviors, and it might seem normal, but you know your kid best, and you have to take note of that change. Most of the medicines, they're going to come from within the home, inside those medicine cabinets. So you have to monitor them. You have to know what's in there. Get rid of expired medication, and there's appropriate ways to do that, and we'll give you more information in the resources. But also note online pharmacies. Almost anyone can log online and purchase prescription medication with a fake prescription, and a lot of times they don't even need one. Friends and family tend to be the biggest sources of where they're obtaining this. So it's not just your home and medicine cabinet, but it's what's at your neighbor's house, at a friend's house. be talking to each other so that you're aware of where this is all coming from. Prescription medication abuse is huge in our community from youth to adult. Kids are using prescription meds because they think they're safe. Legal doesn't mean safe, and doctor prescribed doesn't mean safe. We need to change our attitudes, be informed, be educated about how dangerous prescription medication and over-the-counter meds are. Thank you for joining us. This is a lot of information to take in over all of these videos, but bottom line, be knowledgeable. Get help, find resources, and start with the Tempe Coalition at tempecoalition.org.